Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's your boy EQ, and up next we have some more breaking news. It appears Drake and his attorneys, after voluntarily withdrawing their legal action in New York against Spotify and UMG, have now gone on to officially file a brand new defamation lawsuit against UMG, claiming they used Kendrick Lamar's record "Not Like Us" to destroy his career. Drake has turned into the ultimate hip hop Karen. He alleges that UMG permitted content creators such as Kai Cenat, No Life Shaq, RDC Gaming, and others to monetize reactions to Not Like Us without enforcing copyright claims, claiming that this lack of enforcement enabled the spread of defamatory content while generating profits for both UMG and the creators, prioritizing revenue over Drake's safety. Drake seems to forget UMG is also generating tons of profit from him as well, and he can't seem to realize that the public still has to connect with the music for it to truly be a success, and the culture definitely spoke as to whose music they preferred. Him claiming defamation when he also spreading defaming narratives is beyond hypocritical. Because the very same people reacting to Kendrick Lamar's music were also the very same people reacting to Drake's music. It's not like they were covering one person and not the other. Like I keep saying, the better music actually won. While you can fudge numbers and stuff like that, it's going to be really hard to fake the actual real life impact it had. I mean, we saw marching bands playing it at HBCUs, people using the record to walk out to their fights, and we even saw baseball players that walked out to it. The hook of the record, which is the theme of the record, but Not Like Us, is something that definitely resonated with a lot of people, so it's not shocking the record did what it did. This is just another move from Drake portraying him as a sore loser and unwilling to move on. And for a guy that continues to say he's unbothered by everything, he's continuing to show that he is very bothered. UMG also released a statement which we'll be covering as well, but enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into these articles. Alrighty, here we have the article. Drake is not backing down in the war against his own label. In fact, he's now upped the ante by suing Universal Music Group for spreading the false and malicious narrative he's a PDF, TMZ Hip Hop has learned. Drake filed the defamation case Wednesday morning in federal court in New York City, ripping UMG for releasing and promoting Kendrick Lamar's vicious diss track, Not Like Us. In the docs obtained by TMZ Hip Hop, Drake says UMG knew full well Kendrick's lyrics and images in the music video referring to Drake as a PDF were false and dangerous. And honestly, like I said, it's very hypocritical when you yourself is doing the same exact thing. Kendrick could claim as well, because if this is the case, UMG also knew of Drake's lyrics where he was pushing his own narratives. So like I always say, man, thou shalt not throw stones if thou lives in glass houses. In the suit he calls Kendrick's hit, filled with inflammatory and shocking allegations, was a goldmine for UMG. He says they had an ulterior financial motive in promoting it. And I don't think this guy gets that he's also signed to Universal, so they also have a financial motive to promote his stuff as well. It's just like I said, the public spoke as to who they wanted to hear, and the labels are in the business of making money. So they're going to promote and push whatever is making the most money for themselves. It's just business, Drake, something that you have benefited allegedly for a very, very long time. Drake's claim his label was doing everything it could do to pump Not Like Us because it knew it would devalue his music and brand and therefore give UMG leverage in future contract negotiations with Drake. Keep in mind, Drake's last UMG contract, signed in 2022, was a blockbuster deal worth a reported $400 million. And while the fact that he is number one in most people's eyes would make it seem like it's justifiable to ask for a deal north of that, you still have to take into consideration the state of music now. A number one now may not be worth as much as a number one, let's just say in 2016 or 2022 when this deal was signed, because of a decrease in sales just industry-wide. Drake says he's got bot receipts to show how far the label went to turn Kendrick's song into an anthem. According to the suit, UMG paid a third party to use bots to increase the song's streams by at least 30 million and engaged in a play-for-play scheme with at least one radio promoter. And the thing is, guys, I've been signed for like over 4 years now. These bots are honestly commonplace in the industry. Before bots, what they would do, they would allocate a portion of the budget to buy albums to boost first week sales. So this isn't anything new. He claims UMG attached the label chart topper to Not Like Us, despite knowing that the title was based on fraudulent data. And like I said earlier, it's not like the guy hasn't been trying to push his own narratives. It seems he's only mad because his didn't stick while Kendrick's did. But things like this don't stick unless people think there's smoke, because where there's smoke, there is fire. It's also clear Drake's very mindful of what's going down in New Orleans next month. In the suit, he claims UMG was in on getting Kendrick the Super Bowl halftime gig, so the song could be performed on that massive stage, which he calls one of the most significant and viewed cultural events of the year, which is crazy because he was trying to downplay it and really take the steam out of the whole situation by word coming out that he had actually declined doing it. So if he really did see it as this highly, why did he turn it down? It makes no sense. You gotta wonder, will the NFL and Fox, which is airing the Super Bowl, allow Kendrick to use the PDF lyrics when he performs? I feel like even if he performs just the hook and a few wop wop wops, fam, I feel like it'll be pure pandemonium in that stadium. So I honestly do think they could omit that and the record could still be played and have a amazing impact. Interestingly, Drake isn't going directly after Kendrick in the suit. In fact, he says this lawsuit is not about the artist who created Not Like Us. It is instead entirely about UMG, the music company that decided to publish, promote, exploit, and monetize the song, which it knew contained false claims. And I don't think Drake wants to open up that Pandora's box, because if he goes and claims that Kendrick is the one behind all this, maybe Kendrick Lamar goes out and files a countersuit, because he could probably claim the same things that Drake is claiming. As for how the song put Drake in danger, he points out that since Kendrick dropped the mega hit, there have been multiple shootings at or near his Toronto mansion, one of which ended with one of his security guards getting hit. And I honestly don't think that Kendrick Lamar is sending goons up to Toronto. I've had a bunch of conversations from people that live in Toronto, and they've said that Drake really isn't as beloved as he would think he is. There's a lot of people that think he really hasn't done too much for their city. The music industry and fans of Kendrick and Drake thought Drake was retreating in his legal battle because on Tuesday, he filed a motion to drop a legal action he'd filed against UMG and Spotify in New York State court. Our sources tell us that this was merely done to clear the way for this new federal case. And I'm pretty sure he did that because he did not want to include Spotify in this, because if he is able to get out of this deal, the last thing you want to do is anger the biggest DSP. Right now, Spotify is the biggest fish in the pond, so it would not be a great look to try to go and bring them into this, because you're still going to have to use their platform. While a lot of artists have been going independently as of recently, they're still having a difficult time trying to figure out a way to circumvent that by trying to come up with their own website and their own way to monetize music. But the thing is, Spotify and these streaming platforms have definitely monopolized how we consume music and podcasts and media. This is very, very Karen-like behavior. How do you go and accuse somebody of defamation when you in fact were doing the same thing? I don't really think this case really has much legs at all, because all Universal has to do is just go and open up their books and expose Drake first, which is why, like I always say, thou shouldn't throw stones at thou live in glass houses, because him trying to go and expose the system and probably the biggest force in music, Universal owns close to 70% of all commercial music, and they've been the big machine behind his whole career. So I'm pretty sure they have tons of stuff that would paint him in the same light that he's trying to paint others. I know he's trying to paint the narrative that he truly is the victim, that he's the martyr, that he's doing this for the smaller artists. Honestly, I don't think that really is the case. He's just honestly saying those type of things so he can get the public on his side and gain some favor, even though I really don't think that's working at all for him, because we can see right through it. He's just looking out for numero uno. But UMG also released a statement, which is at the top of this article. They updated it. Here we have the update from Universal. A spokesperson for Universal Music Group tells TMZ, not only are these claims untrue, but the notion that we would seek to harm the reputation of any artist, let alone Drake, is illogical. We have invested massively in his music, which is true, and our employees around the world have worked tirelessly for many years to help him achieve historic commercial and personal financial success. Like I said, man, it wouldn't take much for them to expose the fact that you probably allegedly benefited from the system the most. So it would be very hypocritical, Drake. Throughout his career, Drake has intentionally and successfully used UMG to distribute his music and poetry to engage in conventionally outrageous back-and-forth rap battles to express his feelings about other artists, i.e. somebody like Meek Mill. He now seeks to weaponize the legal process to silence an artist's creative expression and to seek damages from UMG for distributing that artist's music. We have not and do not engage in defamation against any individual. At the same time, we will vigorously defend this litigation to protect our people and our reputation, as well as any artist who might directly or indirectly become a frivolous litigation target for having done nothing more than write a song. And Drake may really be opening the floodgates if this actually does go through, because Meek Mill might definitely be able to build a similar case to this against Drake, because that back-to-back record ran off for like a year. To me, this is Drake just punching up again and making an enemy out of somebody that's way out of his league, which he has been no stranger to. I mean, the guy literally has made enemies of tech billionaires. So him going at Universal, for me, is just another case of that. But a lot of the things he's claiming in this lawsuit can be said about him. So he might try to go with the intention of trying to expose Universal to just end up severely exposing himself and causing him to further alienate himself from the platforms and people that would actually host his music if he ever does get out of this deal. The narrative he's trying to help the smaller artists, to me, honestly, doesn't seem genuine at all. I feel like the only reason he's doing this is because he's lost his status over at Universal. He doesn't wield the same power that he did before the beef, and justifiably so. But I do feel like the guy has done more to harm his stock than you can put on Kendrick Lamar or Universal. At the end of the day, Universal wants to make their money. So if the Drake records are making more money, guess what? They're going to put their full weight behind that. But that's just the music industry. That's just industry, period. That's capitalism. Give the people what they want. And what they voted for was Kendrick Lamar. But a lot of this just screams of extreme hypocrisy. But definitely let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think the odds of this case actually winning are? Do you think his intent was ever to help the smaller artists? Or do you think, like I, that this more than likely was a selfish move because he is not the golden goose over at Universal? Also, let me know if you guys think Meek Mill is going to have something to say about this. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Guys, like I keep saying, the channel is doing amazing. The growth has been exponential. And honestly, I really want to thank you guys for making this channel a part of your day. You guys are freaking amazing. The conversation that these videos create are always one of the highlights to me making these videos. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say on this situation. And I'm really interested in seeing how this all develops. And Drake has to tread very lightly because he is not the first person to go and try to buck the system. Many artists have tried in the past to try to change the system only to fail miserably. Even when winning, you end up blackballing yourself and become a pariah in the industry. And like I always say, you can have all the fans in the world, but if they can't find your music, it's pointless. These platforms can easily take you off all their playlists, severely hindering all your streams, and they can bury you in the algorithm. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys love this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Aubrey going out bad.